Hello everyone, my name is Longley with Equity First Realty, and in this video I'm gonna tell you some tips, some buyer tips so that you can apply and win your offer to the seller. So let's take a look of what we have. Specifically, Equity First Realty has a special program to sell your house, and you only have to pay about 1988 in agent commission. So contact me if you have any question about a special program nowadays. Okay, so let's get back on our video show. Okay, so today I'm gonna show you 3 tips so that you can make an offer on a house and win an offer for sure. So these tips I have applied in multiple situations with multiple clients, and I won the offers. Okay, so let's take a look at what the first one is. Obviously, nowadays with a really hot market, and one of the articles say the market in Phoenix is hotter than hot, right? So it's really hot, it's extremely hot, lots and lots of competition nowadays. So the very first tip, very first comment, and this is actually well taught by a lot of realtor in the market, right? Simple, they increase the price, right? You can increase your offer. You can increase the offer price. For example, if they ask for $300,000, perhaps you can offering 3,010, right? $210,000, right? So those are gonna increase the net profit for the seller, and therefore there's no brainer that they will not accept it, right? Most of the case though, you will be competing against lots and lots and lots of other buyers who have more cash than you. So be careful of the higher price that you are asking, that you are offering. Okay. The second tip that I have for you is you give more. Okay, when you are in the purchase contract, a real estate purchase contract, there's actually more than just an offering price. It's going to be also including inspection that you perform, right? As a buyer, you have all the right to perform all kind of inspection. Now, even though I list the inspection here as one of the items you could negotiate, you should never, ever don't do inspection. I repeat again, you should never ever don't do inspection, meaning that you always have to do inspection. Keep that, okay? You have to do some kind of inspection to make sure, because you only visit the house for 1 or twice, then you don't know what the condition is. So you have to go into the contract regardless of how seller hesitate to allow you to do inspection. You have to do inspection. If they don't, then run away, because that's going to be really scary for you. Okay, as a buyer, I would not recommend that you waive the inspection period. Okay, the inspection, right? In addition, as I told you, in addition to offering price, you have inspection, you have appraisal. Yeah, so those are the 2 things that lots of people are applying right now, right? They waive the inspection, I waive appraisal contingency. Those are meaning that you will not perform any inspection if you waive inspection. Again, I will not recommend this. Okay. The second thing is waive appraisal, meaning that if after like 15-20 days and they are now, the lender now perform an appraisal. Now this is only applicable if you do a loan with a lender. Okay, so if you pay cash, this may not be applicable to you. Okay, so as a buyer with a loan, that in the purchase contract, it's gonna have an appraisal contingency, meaning that you have the right to step away if the appraised value is lower than the purchase price, and you and the seller cannot come to an agreement about the final purchase price. Okay, either the buyer gonna lower the seller gonna lower the offer, the purchase price, or the buyer has to pay cash extra. Okay, waiving the appraisal means that you do have to pay for the extra. You already choose that option up front. Okay, now the other way that is less common is you can offering paying the seller closing costs. Now say what? long as a buyer I have to pay for the seller closing costs? Yes, right. It was not very common last year where most of the seller pay for the buyer closing costs. This year, however, though, because it is a closer, it is a seller market, very strong seller market, by the way. So you have to think of some creative way. Now, if you are working, by the way, if you are working with a realtor, right, consult with him or her to see what is the best fit for your situation. This is, I just share some of the experience, some of the recommendation I offering to my clients. Okay, so it really depend on your situation. Ask them, ask whoever your realtor, and they're gonna recommend the best course of action for you. Okay, you can offering paying the seller tax, right? You can offering paying for the seller's HOA transfer fee. You can offering paying for the seller moving cost, right? Those are an addition, like you can giving more so that you can win a house. Think about it. If you are able to lose $1,000 or $2,000 and you get your own house, that extremely benefit. And by the way, the house gonna increase the value within a month of you doing the contract anyway. So you may end up getting back those equity at the end when you close the contract anyway. Okay, so those are the that is the second tip I have for you to win your offer. The last tip I guarantee it's gonna surprise you. Okay, so remind one more time. The first tip is increase your offer. The second tip is giving more to the seller, and the last one is to decrease your offer. What? Am I crazy? No, 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 no. I'm not crazy. Believe it or not. Okay, believe it or not. In nowadays, there's some sellers that asking way more than the market price, right? Which is true, which is fair, right? Because the market is so strong and the seller has all right to put all asking price that they want. However, though, there's some trigger that you can use. Okay, for example, one of the example is that it is on the market for a while, so perhaps the pricing is not right and therefore there's not a lot of buyer willing to make an offer for that price. Now most of you gonna run away from those asking price house, right? Because you say, the seller is not gonna accept that. Me, in the other hand, will not recommend you to do so if you are my clients, right? Because as your realtor, I'm gonna look at all the market around, all the houses sold around the neighborhood and draw the real conclusion, right? If the data that I collect back out research, meaning that we can reduce the asking price, I would recommend you go in right away. For example, I just recently helped a buyer win the offer with $10,000 less than asking. Can you believe that? In this market, the seller asking for $280,000, and we were able to. I'm sorry, the seller was asking for $289,000, and we were able to win the contract with $10,000 less than asking. So that is true that you could decrease your offer as long as you have good data to back up, right? And that's obviously a conversation with the listing agent and with the seller to help them, right? So do not be afraid to decrease your offer. Okay, do not be afraid, right? Some houses you have to, because the data doesn't back up what they want. So those are the 3 tips that I tell you on how to win the offer. Okay, so tip number 1, increase your offer, putting higher on whatever they ask for. Okay, giving more. Or the last one is to decrease your offer. And I know the last tip gonna surprise a lot of people, but this is based on my experience. Again, if you work with a realtor, make sure that make sure to tell them what they want to do. what you want to do, so that they can look at your situation and decide which is recommend the best course of action for you. These again just my recommendation, my tips that I would like to share to you. Okay, thank you so much everyone. My name is Longley with Equity First Realty. Have a good day and see you in the next video. Bye bye.